Hey, let me talk to you about regret. I want to share with you a formula that's going to help you take your regrets from being negative to being positive, something you can use as a motivator. So look, we all have regrets. It's how we deal with them is more important. In life, things happen or they don't happen, right? That's a regret. You have this negative response or emotion to something that's either happened to you or you didn't do. And it's okay. But let me share some stories and then I'll bring it into a process that will help you. So my mom passed away over 2 years ago. And when I was going through her papers, I found this letter. And it was a resignation letter. And it was made out and it was crossed out and then it was crossed out again. And there were a couple of dates crossed out. And she was going to resign from the school system, right? She was a school nurse. And back then they didn't get paid as well as they get paid now. And not that they get paid super well, but they get paid a lot better than they did. And so she had this letter that she was going to turn in, and she didn't. And it was an opportunity for her not to be working 2 jobs because she would just work 1 job. But she had made great relationships and didn't want to let those go. But she also loved the job she was doing and working with the kids. What I had found and heard from her over the years since that letter, so that letter was done at least, I think it was 15 years before she retired, was that she had always wanted to retire, wanted to be able to do more things, but never had the energy because she was working 2 jobs. But on the other side, she used some of that positively because she kept her relationships and she did some things that kept her connected and kept her engaged in life. But then she had this negative regret that just held her back. So that's important. And then recently, this past week, actually a week and a half ago, I had a friend of mine that passed away. Now, he wasn't a close friend. I went to middle school with him, elementary school, had talked to him a couple of years ago. He did my logo for my business, redid my logo for my business, helped me think about my business card. But he was a gentleman who was incredibly gifted, had a vision for what he wanted in his life, and was so kind. And so I think it was back in 1993, he had a dream when he was younger, and I remember all his drawings and things that he'd share that he wanted to go to Paris. He moved to Paris. He left this job in New York, went to Paris, and had lived there up until last week. And here's somebody who left the United States, went to France, found a job, got connected, got married, had a wonderful partner, shared a lot of wonderful things on Facebook, had given back to a lot of people, and really tried to stay connected and helpful. He had no regrets, right? He had no regret. He might have had other regrets, but in terms of moving and going where he wanted, he didn't. So here's the thing. We all have these experiences. So first thing is, when you have a regret, accept it. Plain off, number 1, accept. Accept your regret. Number 2 is don't dwell on it, right? If you're going to accept it, don't dwell on it. So that's number 2. The third part, number 3, is learn from it. How can you learn from your regrets? That's the most important part. Because if you can do that, you can learn from what it is. Like my mom, if she would have learned from her regret of, oh, I know I want to have more freedom, I want to have more time to go and do things, maybe I should change my jobs. It's not going to be the happiest thing. I can still keep my friendships, but, right? So learn from it. Number 4, let it motivate you. Motivate to make that change, to put that action, to have that behavior in your life so that you can make a difference, so that you can see yourself not in this negative light, but you're moving in more in that positive. And number 5, turn it into gratitude. Gratitude is the most powerful tool I know to help you be happy, to be thankful, right? But it allows you to take good inventory of what you have in your life. We are so blessed, but a lot of times we are so blindsided because we're only focused what's in front. So make sure that you do that. So look, regret happens to all of us. We have a choice on how we're going to deal with it. We're going to let it just take us down, and we're always going to be regretful, and we're not going to move forward, and we're always going to be sitting in the back and never move forward in your life. Or are you going to use these 5 steps, right? Accept it. Don't dwell on it. Number 3 is learn from it. 4, right? Let it motivate you. And 5, turn it into gratitude. Use it in those ways, and you're going to see your regret help you move farther in life. We're always going to have regrets of things that we didn't think about, things that we didn't do, or something that happened. But don't sit back when you're 70, 75, 80, 85 and go, oh, I wish. No, take action. Definitely do that. It is so important. All right, we'll talk soon.